Nether portals suck. They're taking over my entire world. But today, I am taking it back. I'm making one giant nether portal filled with crazy redstone to rule them all. So I never have to use one of these ever again. I'm starting with a reference circle at my world spawn. This is not the coolest spawn ever, but I have a plan to fix it. I've used all my Minecraft knowledge to cook up the design for this project because according to my calculations, a portal that is powered by exactly 100 separate nether portals should be powerful enough to leave this world sometime. Which would be pretty great, you know? I live in this massive base all by myself and I want friends.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine. You just can't get into it.
And that should be the last block of the inside of the portal frame. Because I've been told size matters, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going on YouTube just to look at somebody else's nether portal, and then I'll send them a DM saying that I have the biggest blocks. I'm out of purple wool blocks already. Well, this is coming along nicely, but I need some more blocks for my storage. Actually, I'm flying a bit further because I have to get to the sheep farm, which is right in here. Okay, that should be enough.
A few minutes later.
So the portal frame is done and it is literally taller than a mountain. But to fit the entire portal in here, I need to cut down some of the forest. And I will also need to dig a trench, so let me put a beacon in place. While I prepare the area for the portal, if you want this portal in your own world, you can get the schematic as a free member on my Patreon. I will keep adding more schematics over time as free downloads. And if you want early access to the full world, you can always join the early access squad and get an updated world after every video. I'm done mining, and that is where the portal is going to sit, but we have a small problem. There's a house here, so this guy is now evicted. Sorry, not sorry. With the frame in place, it is now time for the next step. To activate a portal of this scale without any weird data packs, I will need a lot of smaller portals to power. That's sound logic, trust. So I'm just going to build these portals in between the giant rings on both sides of the frame. That was my very last block of obsidian. I've built 20 out of the 100 portal frames so far. I think I'm just gonna go to the end and mine one of the obsidian pillars. I could of course use an obsidian farm here, which is quicker, but I'm gonna have to mine these pillars down eventually anyway, so I might as well just do it. One day, these will all be gone so I can make a cool build here. I have a lot of obsidian, and more in the shulker box. This should be enough to complete the portals. Okay, that's the first ring of portals done. 15 out of the 100 down, 50 more to go. Trust the process. I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
It's getting cold up here, but I have completed the other 50 portals as well, which means it is now time to replace that first purple wool ring with crying obsidian. I gotta check if I actually have enough crying obsidian left in my storage. I don't really have any crying obsidian laying around. I can of course get it from my piglin bartering farm, but that has a small neglected problem. This is not a working sorting system. Actually, it's really bad. It can't handle the output of the farm, so if I trade more than like 20 gold ingots, everything gets clogged up. We better fix that right now. Actually, now that I think of it, we have more than one storage problem. This gold farm just outputs into unsorted chests, so I broke all of those and I'm gonna redo the redstone because now we have crafters in the game, which means I can auto-compact this down into gold blocks. Let me just get some night vision from the dispenser down here. That will make everything a lot easier. Setting up the item filters was pretty simple. This will make sure that I keep all the golden nuggets and burn up all the rotten flesh that I don't want. I took a while puzzling to figure out how to wire everything up. If any of my redstone designer friends see what I made here, they are gonna be so mad. They probably wanna slap me right now. We don't have any hoppers locked. There's way too many of them. I can probably handle the output of the farm like 4 times, but we have a chest that ends up full of gold blocks, so I'm gonna count that as a win. Now we just have to get back to the nether roof because I have another bigger storage issue that I still need to fix. The piglin bartering farm over there has too much output. So I need to condense all of that down into one block, align it, and push it around an ice track. To align it, we're going to use ender chests, which are smaller than a block, and that means that the items are simultaneously moving over the ice track, but also over the hoppers on the side. Now the first step is very simple. I need the piglins to put their items into a hopper, which goes into a dropper, which spews them out in the middle. Just like that. That looks so satisfying already. But we've made an absolute mess down on the ground. So my first attempt at fixing that went horribly wrong, because these honey blocks don't actually push the items off. So that's just really dumb. Iteration number 2. This actually kinda does what we need to do. Oh, this is it. I'm a genius. I've done it this time. I present to you the horrifying piglin bartering item sortinator iteration 3, which looks even more disgusting, but it does actually do the job. I solemnly swear, this is the last time I do any complicated redstone directly in survival, because oh my god, this is disgusting. But you know what it also is? It's a certified loony classic. I had a problem, I have a solution, and I got my crying obsidian. Now I just gotta replace all that wool on the inner circle with crying obsidian. Okay, that went quicker than expected. So the mega portal is going to be inside that crying obsidian circle. I've completed the first 2 steps of my plan. Now it's finally time to start building the portal frame. I just have to collect the resources for it. And it's a pretty big list. Let's head to base and start with the easy ones. I'll just grab stone and andesite from my storage chest. I can't find any moss blocks here though, but I know exactly where to get them. This is a bone meal farm, but it's pretty high tech, so I can put it in moss production mode. Yeah, okay, I do this every time I need moss. I should honestly just make a separate farm for it. Now next up, I need a lot of glass, so I'm making a quick trip to the desert to collect the sand, which I can then just chuck into the super smelter to turn it into glass. Now I need mud and mangrove wood, so we're back to the desert to collect those as well. Now grab some soul soil on the way back, and then we're back to the storage to grab the cobblestone. Future Looney checking in. At this point, I started a whole mining scene because I didn't have any cobblestone. That scene got cut. It was an unbelievable waste of time because this is how much cobble I actually have. This storage sucks so bad, but I'll deal with that problem in the next video. Now we're getting to the tricky resources. I need 3,000 black wool, but the sheep farm only has 18 black sheep. So I'm picking up some ink sacs from the squid farm. With the black dye, I will re-dye some of the other colors of sheep to ramp up the black wool production. Now, I just have to wait for this chest to fill up. For the next item on my list, I need a shulker box of skulk. And I won't lie, I was a little worried about this one. So I stocked up on swiftness and night vision potions, just in case I had to escape an angry warden in the process. But there was just about enough skulk left in the ancient city where I got the how do we get here advancement. And this place is super safe because I removed every skulk shrieker except for one. I almost have all the resources that I need now. I just have to craft and then smelt some purple terracotta. And while the smelter processes that, I should just about have enough time to clear this cheeky slime parkour that I built in my base. Yo! Oh my god, I love this base. And there we go. The glazed terracotta is also done. That means I now have all the resources I need to build up the portal. And while the time-lapse plays in the bottom, let me show you how I actually designed this thing. This was my first time messing around with Axiom and Litematica, and even just scratching the surface, Axiom offers some crazy tools. The best way I can describe it is it's like an external building tool that you can use inside of the game. The user interface is so much better than, for example, World Edit, that I can barely imagine what I'll be able to make with a little bit of practice on this mod. The biggest time saver is probably not what you would imagine, but you can use Ctrl-Z on this mod, which means you can go back a step if something doesn't look quite right. Especially when you're designing in survival, you waste so much time trying to see and correct your own mistakes. Another feature that absolutely blew my mind is you can move things around so easy, so you can put a build in place and see how it will look in your world. Once I had finished the frame for the build, I figured out a palette and then I simplified it by taking out all the crazy blocks before assigning it to a bunch of world edit brushes. From there, I could just paint in the design I had made until I had something I was happy with. Oh my god, that was the last layers, there's no more. Okay, that honestly looks insane up close. Jeez, that thing is big. That's what she's. And just like that, step 3 is completed, and the only thing I have left to do is wire up the portal frame with this ridiculous redstone system that I designed. That means I have to do some shopping first though. There are 2 witch farms hidden in my base, and these things are going crazy now that they've been buffed in 1.21. Second greatest change in the update, after the ability to use a crafter to make dispensers. I literally remember the pain from clicking a gazillion times last time I had to do this. Alright, I got all my redstone components, but I still need to get 100 flint and steel. I'm looking for a gravel mountain, but I actually think that I'll be able to get all the flint in a cave, and there's a really big one right over here. Wait, hold up. I miscalculated. I don't need 100 flint and steel. I need 900. Luckily, there was a massive water cave attached to the cave I was in, so I could find plenty of exposed patches. Took a while, but I got all of them. Now, finally, the water buckets. And that's it. I have everything I need. Let's get back to work and install this monster circuit that will activate the portal. There's probably a lot of mobs in there though, so I'm gonna go in prepared. Yeah, okay, that was a little underwhelming. I expected so many mobs, there's nothing in there. Well, let's build the redstone. That alone just took me 3 hours, even with Lifesteal assistance. I'm really glad I decided to figure this one out in creative. Alright, now I just have to fill all the dispensers with flint and steel and water buckets. Oh my god. I don't want to be there right now. I have to be really careful here so that I don't make a mistake. If the water bucket dispensers are wired or loaded wrong, I could easily destroy the entire system. Okay, I think I have everything set up correctly. That just means we need an activation circuit. Now all I have to do is press this button. And definitely not place 7,000 stained glass blocks. That didn't sound quite right, but it looks like my mega portal turned on. Guys, you know what? I'm sure it was meant to do that. I crushed it here. This portal I made, it's majestic, and it might just be powerful enough to travel to other worlds. But we'll test that some other time. I'm tired from all this hard work, and I'm going home to take a nap. No more normal portals for me ever again, baby. I'm the king of the world.